Hello, it is me, that divination witch. I hope you're all doing well. Now today I am here with another video about my favourite person, Hecate, Hecate, however you want to say her name. And today, at the time of uploading, it's a very special day dedicated to her. It's one of her sacred days, the 16th of November, Hecate's night. So what is it? Well, let me get into it now and explain. Hello there. If you don't know who I am, my name's Sarah. I go by that divination witch online. I started on TikTok by posting readings and now I'm here. I'm on YouTube sharing my journey and information I've learned along the way, and I just try and be down to earth, realistic about it all. If you like that sort of thing, please hit subscribe. And I've also got a link tree below where you can get readings from me. I've got an Etsy store and a Patreon, and if you support me on Patreon, you not only get readings from me but hints and tips and some exclusive things that are not on here. So if you're interested, please check it out. Hecate. If you are new to this channel, then you may not know, but I will recap that she is my main goddess. She is a goddess of witches and witchcraft and sorcery. She's a goddess of the dead and the restless dead, a goddess of necromancy, a goddess of the liminal space. The liminal space means the space between life and death, so this brings her into the space of being a death goddess, but also a life goddess, a mother. She is someone who presides over childbirth, protecting the underdog, protecting vulnerable people, helping such people as well. A lot of her followers, me included, have been through traumas, have been through not so nice experiences, and she empowers us. She helps us realise our true power that's been there all along, and perhaps we were bullied or whatever. She fights for us. She helps us fight for ourselves as well. So to me, she's a very, very important woman, and I do call her my mother, and that is how she has been with me. Everyone's relationship with her is different, of course. But yes, that's who she is in a nutshell. She comes from Asia Minor, technically, which is modern day Turkey kind of area. Once upon a time that was part of the Greek Empire and then into the Ottoman Empire, but by then paganism, polytheism had kind of phased out, to my knowledge. She has a temple to this day. It's the remains of it now, but it's located in Turkey, and there's been some witches and pagans fortunate enough to go. You can find them on YouTube, other followers of Hecate. One day I will go there. But yes, she is an important figure in history, in religion, in mythology. She is found in numerous cultures, numerous religions. She is all-powerful to me. I feel like she is primordial. She is the divine feminine, the dark feminine. She presides, like I say, over life and death. So a goddess such as her, yes, is someone to be honoured. And she has several sacred days, and today is one of them at time of uploading. When we say sacred days, it just means that we are mindful of her. We might give her an offering, we might do a ritual with her if you're so inclined, or even just think of her, light a candle for her. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Tonight isn't the only night that Hecate is honoured. There are several nights and days throughout the year, and I'm going to explain what they are and why. So we'll start with today. November the 16th. Some say 17th, 18th. Some I've even seen online say it's the end of the month. But I say, look, it's the 16th. That's the way I do it. Does it matter really? No, I don't think so. I don't think Mother, meaning Hecate, is too fussed on that. But it's November time. Now why now? Hecate is, like I say, goddess of the liminal spaces, and I'm emphasising this because we know, if we are spiritual in any capacity, We know around this time of year, the end of October into November, the veil is thinner. And that time of year is normally known as Samhain, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, the Day of the Dead in some cultures. It doesn't matter what you call it, it doesn't matter what your tradition is, it's a common theme that the veil is thinner this time of year. And on the flip side, just to say, it's also thinner in like the spring summertime, you know, like the opposite end of the year. And the same for, so sadly, like, I don't know if it's sadly, but witches, spiritual people in Australia kind of have to flip everything backwards because of the hemispheres. Or is it forwards? You never know which way is up. Anyways, I'm digressing there. So because of the time of year and because of Hecate's connection with the dead, connection with the life and death, the duality, and because the time of year we're normally respecting the dead, respecting ancestors, there's a lot of legends around spirits coming to roam the earth, all this sort of jazz, then it's natural she's linked with this time of year. And if we're going by the wheel of the year, which is Sabbats, which I don't personally really follow because I'm not a Celtic witch, that's something I'll talk about another time maybe, you know, she is heavily linked with Samhain, Halloween, this time of year. November time came about in a modern sense. It wasn't an ancient celebration, this one. So it came about as a thought that, well, this is when the veil is sort of closing, kind of thing. The portal, if you want to call it that, is closing. The time period of the thin veil is coming to the end. Hecate is doing her job and she's guiding restless spirits to where they need to go, etc. So this is a way of modern day pagans, witches, polytheists just respecting her job role, what she does, and things like that. My research into it says it came about thanks to Wiccans, but don't hold me to that. I know Wiccans, and I've done a video about this, but they respect the Mother Maiden Crone, that's their goddess, it's a religion in itself, they're not the same as pagans. Some Wiccans do respect, you know, different gods and goddesses, but they do it as an aspect of their one deity sort of thing. So some Wiccans may kind of worship, respect, honour Hecate, but it wouldn't be in the same way as someone who believes that Hecate is her own woman kind of thing. It's a little different in that regard. However, what I'm trying to get across is that today, the celebration in November, is a modern day thing, and that doesn't mean it's any lesser than some other days that I'll touch upon near the end of this video, but it came about recently modern times. And it's also said to be a time not just to honour her but to initiate witches, and again I feel like that's more of a Wiccan thing, to initiate people into the circle, into the coven, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's just a time to honour her. The other days that we can honour Hecate, there are some other dates. So in August, around the 12th of August every year, Hecate is honoured as a harvest goddess, as an agricultural goddess, and this comes from more ancient times, and she was respected this way back in ancient Greece, whereas today it wasn't traced that far back. But back then I do know there was a cult that, and we don't mean cult in the modern sense, by the way, it's not as bad, it's just there was a certain branch of people that followed Hecate and Demeter and Persephone as a triad sort of thing. And so yes, when it came to this time of year, meaning August time of year, you know, crops are starting to be ready to be harvested, you know, we celebrate the harvest, doesn't matter where you're from. But yeah, the ancient Greeks would leave her offerings, Hecate offerings, to appease her. It was thought that if you could get her on side, then basically your crops would be good, they wouldn't fail, there wouldn't be a nasty storm, there wouldn't be anyone interfering, things like this. So it was a mark of respect. So that's where the August festival comes about. I have heard as well that some people respect her in January, at the end of January. I've never personally done this. This is just something I've came across in my research, and I wasn't quite sure where the origins of that came from. If you know, let me know in the comments below. It's probably something that's obvious, probably in one of my many books about her, that I just haven't came across or felt drawn to doing. The most obvious days of the year, well, to me it's obvious, but might not be to you, but the most obvious days of the year to respect Hecate are on the new moon each month, or it used to be known as the dark moon, sometimes still is because of the moon phases. And in ancient Rome, I believe it was around the 30th of every month that they decided that was going to be when the new moon is, and they would appease trivia. So that's again giving Hecate offerings. Trivia is the Roman version of Hecate, but yeah, respecting her, giving her offerings, things like this. So it's the traditional, I can never say the word, but deepnion, I can never pronounce it right, but that's where people leave offerings for Hecate and the restless dead outside, either at the crossroads or at their door or on their property. Sometimes people had altars outside, things like this. I suppose back in those days as well, there would have been sacred fires, kind of what they're called again, hearths, you know, communal areas to leave offerings and things like that. So yes, sacred days to Hecate. We've got every single new moon. That is her link with the moon, the link with, again, the liminal space, the changing in energies, the transitions, because new moon is a new moon. It's all about starting afresh, starting again, rebirth, and that's what she's connected with. We have that January day, which I'm not sure of the origins on, but to me it could be a rebirth thing, come to think of it. Then we have 12th of August, where she's celebrated as a harvest goddess, and we have November time. So to me, 16th of November, and that is celebrating her again as a liminal goddess and respecting her job role and what she does for us all. So there are no kind of, I wouldn't say there are any set in stone days. This is just some information for people who are interested. I have noticed a couple of comments where people were asking what a Hecate's sacred days. Well, there you go. These are her sacred days. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do anything on these days, even if you love her. Like I love her so much, but I forgot the last new moon. Actually, my friend painted a picture for me out the blue, and it was of Hecate. I don't know what that was about. It was Mother clearly giving her a sign to do that for me. It was very sweet of her, and I just felt her around very intense, like Hecate. I totally forgot it was the new moon, and my friend was like, well, Sarah, it is the new moon. So, you know, we all forget, we all make mistakes. We're only human. Doesn't matter who you are, what kind of ego you may or may not have. You know, nobody is perfect here. I get questions quite a lot of people worrying that they may have peed off Hecate, any god. You haven't peed them off. Just be respectful. They understand we are human beings with human problems and human lives to live. You know, sometimes I just need to switch off. That's the way I am. I have to just switch off and do something I enjoy just for me. Lately it's been playing Baldur's Gate. If you know, you know. But it could be anything, and that's okay. It's okay not to do this every new moon for her. It doesn't mean she's going to abandon you. It doesn't mean that she's going to be angry at you, because the amount of new moons I've forgot, it's quite a lot. Doesn't mean I'm any less of a follower of hers. Doesn't mean she loves me any less, or vice versa. It's one of them things. I try and respect her everywhere that I can. That's why I do this channel, and I've explained it before, and that's why I'm uploading this video today. Truthfully, at the time of filming, I've been in my day job. I was tired, and the last thing I wanted to do was to film, but here I am because I love her so much, and I wanted it to get out today on her day to honour her. So little things like this, you know, they make a big difference. She knows we care. So I just want to put that out there. But yes, if you know the exact origins of the January date, put it in the comments below. Do you know of any other days that are said to be days of Hecate? I mean, let me know. Any day could be a day of Hecate, I suppose. You know, it's not like a strict religion here. We are on our own personal journeys with her, and truthfully, I don't think she really minds. She, of course, appreciates, you know, that people care about her. I'm not saying that, but it's not like you have to celebrate her or else. Definitely not. So I hope that was helpful, and until next time, stay safe, stay witchy. Bye.